Hey guys, Channel with Sundays here. I just saw Duke Wong on the side of the road. I thought, what's going on with this dude? He was sitting over here just out the front of Coles, and I'm like, I had to go around and say what's going on. So Duke, what is going on, mate?
So I've been doing this for 381 days.
Righto.
And this is town number 80 along my journey.
Yeah.
So I've been all the way out to Birdsville, Boulia, Baduri, right, all the way up to Bamaga, Thursday Island, and everywhere in between. Because this, to me, is what representation means. Chris, getting out to the people, giving the people the opportunity to come up and talk to me like you are doing right now.
Yeah.
This is what representation is.
Yeah.
We don't see this, on the scale it should be done.
So what's the vision? Where are you going? What's happening?
So what I'm going to do is represent representation itself. Firstly, this is what I'm doing, to get people's attention. Say, look, I'm worthy of being your representative. Once I get a seat in the Senate, the federal Senate, to represent the whole state of Queensland as one of the 12 federal senators in the House of the
So
Senate.
you're saying before we chuck this camera on that like you thought Pauline Hanson's doing something and then like you just think it needs to be proper flipped on its head?
Yes and no. We need the standard system of governance, but we need to evolve, right, the system of governance to include the say of the people. Because we know that our government, any government around the world that's supposed to represent a democratic system of governance, doesn't work.
No.
Okay,
Well,
it's
it
not
works for
working.
the people at the top of the tree, but not the communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't have vested interests in those corporations, right, taking our federal taxes to build out the solutions that we need for us here in our communities.
Yeah.
So why aren't we taking a stand against that?
Well, I think it's so big, and people have only starting to, since COVID, starting to wake up to this whole like Fugazi just circus show.
Yep.
That and there are people like for myself, I've got tens of thousands of dollars worth of intellectual property for the Whit Sundays that I'm working on with this Channel Whit Sundays thing. I'm leaning into doing it Monday to Friday, 5 till 6 or 6 till 7 p.m. of a night time, and just really connect with everyone.
Yeah.
So that's where my passion's at.
So we're filling a void. In other words, we're getting into a situation where people are realising, hey, this is not right. Something's not right. What is it that's
Very
not
clear.
right?
Very clear.
Let's make a difference.
Yep.
Right? One by one, little by little, we're taking a stand against what is wrong. And to see that in the next election, we will not have a system of governance which represents what we desire.
No, well, that's correct. Have you heard of blockchain? Are you aware of blockchain?
No.
Well, that's going to be the big catalyst that's going to flip it all on its head with central bank digital currencies.
Oh yeah. Okay, blockchain technology.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're talking like
Encryption.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, but there's literally thousands of other blockchains.
Yep.
So currently, if you were to send an email, in a couple of seconds it's going to get to the other side of the world. But the money system's still archaic and slow back in the 70s. So we're moving on to what's called a blockchain, which is rapid, fast, immutable, transparent, and fast.
Yep.
What they're aiming to bring in is a central bank digital currency, which will basically programmable money, and it's called UBI, Unified Basic Income. They'll drop it on us. They're trying to create a problem here, and wars will happen. They'll keep printing the money from the Federal Reserve, which is basically families, a couple of families. And then they'll print it so much out that the food in the supermarkets are going to get way too expensive, and they'll have facial recognition. And what they are doing, and I actually know a guy in Brisbane who's a coder, who's currently building the technology for the scanning from Coles and Woolworths to be able to the digital, where the numbers of the food is digital, so that when they recognise who's coming in, the top price will change on the item that you're going to pick up. So that's where they're going. So we do have an opportunity to go into a decentralized finance rails, which is basically using the same technology they're using, but go decentralized finance and DeFi.
So that doesn't help us with the biggest problems in our country, not just our country, but the global society as one. Okay, the system of governance is being corrupted by those who have selfish vested interests. And we can't take on that until we realise that the only way of fighting that...
You've got to go back to the root.
Yep.
And the root is the community.
The community is the seat of power in any country. Okay, even China. Okay, the seat of power belongs to the people, right?
I agree. I agree.
where
I'm completely with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that we now have technology, okay, which we can use to communicate with the masses effectively.
Yep.
To create that effective communication,
Yes.
we have to want that. We have to say, hey, look, we can do this, right? Even though it's not there yet, we can create it if we want, you know, the future of our global society,
population, humanity,
right?
to have
To be better.
sovereign and enhanced.
So
Government.
we can look at the financial systems, right?
Yeah.
And they are worthy of targeting. But how do we target that without changing our system of governance? Because where we see, okay, our system of governance being controlled by financial constraints, okay, whether it's the current situation with the US national debt creeping over 40 trillion, okay, you know,
Well,
if global markets were to say, look,
not,
you know, we can't let this happen. If global markets were to say, look, let's all band together, right, and create this a stability factor.
What you're talking about
crisis
is something
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's unity. That can only happen, right, if all
If
the
there's a
markets
strategy and
work
execution.
together, right, to say, look, we'll bail you out for this short time, but we want steps in place, right, so that you do not keep spending, right, just like they did over in.
Yeah, I'm with you, but partly I'm tracking to a different space.
Yep.
We don't even talk to those people because they are the old system, and we need to rebuild a new system, which takes technology and basically building out a new infrastructure that can support community, because we are the energy. The energy is money is energy.
Chris, I understand, because markets will play along, right, and governance will follow. However, the system could be both working in unison, where governments say, look, you know, cryptocurrencies, right, are good in situations where we can control it through government systems, right?
Well, that will be the central bank digital currencies that they're going to
have
run.
it for, okay, the people and not the corporations.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I'm not a you know, technologist. I'm not an economist. I don't know these things. I would have to rely on smart people to come up with a plan.
Yeah. I've been coming up with a plan for a while now, actually.
First and foremost, we must have someone in there to represent the new systems, okay, to allow the people to understand in this day and age, okay, that there are things we don't understand that the experts do, who can explain it to us, okay, to satisfy and make sure that there's safeguards enough that the systems can't be corrupted or fall over.
Well, that's blockchain. You can't corrupt blockchain.
Yep, not yet. Okay, we don't know that.
You can't.
Well, when you say you can't, okay, science has proven, right, that things can go wrong.
Yeah.
So
I've been deep down the blockchain space for 5 years now. I've studied it intensely. I drove mud trucks at the Posse Mill for 72 hours a week for six months a year. Deep dive on blockchain. I understand a lot. I've actually got a tech company called NowTech that I've been building for 15 years, so I'm really up to speed on that space.
Yep.
And building out a system for this. We'll start in this community in the Whitsundays, where we empower community to be able to talk and effectively, and have almost like like the old school red phone boxes that have. The retro old phone boxes, have one of those in Main Street town, ideally behind where the taxi rank is, centre of town, where the clock tower is. And you can walk in, push the button, name, phone number, email in, 321, push to go, and you've got a minute to have a chat about ideas, thoughts, think global, act local. And then with all the resources and assets that the community has as a collective, databases, holiday giveaways, packages to put together. I've got lovethewhitsundays.com, bookthewhitsundays.com, trademark Love the Whitsundays for the Whitsundays. And next month heading down to Sydney to pitch and present to Rode microphones.
Good.
So we'll start it as a white label here in the Whitsundays. And then I've got a letter of support from a councillor up in Port Douglas, and my PA who's working, she's in Yeppoon, also working with the council down there. So we'll build out across communities across Australia, and then probably global. And then we can all think global, act local, have an idea, pitch it, present it. We go into a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization, which is basically blockchain. People don't really need to know about that stuff. They just need to know that it works, and they can push a button and they can vote in communities or collective communities, upvote the best idea in the world. Every month we put out an idea, and then when we send it global. And all you got to do is like, follow, subscribe, share, download, or all 5 to go in the running for the holiday. And it'll have 3 different age demographics: 18 and 35, 35 to 55 families, and then retirement. So we, in the Wet Sundays, can send them a holiday package video that inspires them, niches their market, and then they're like, hey, all I got to do is like, follow, subscribe, share, download. That idea, whether that's going to be a project for grassroots musicians called Gigging, or Massage Me Now. There's 2 apps I've been working on building. So it's about the resonance at the end of the day, to be able to support communities coming together. But then the monetary exchange goes on to decentralized finance. So if someone in Canada, in a community in Canada, has a great idea, the community bands together, we have a podcast studio for them, they mesh minds, build out an MVP, which is a minimal viable product, pitch it, present it to everyone. If we send it from, we'll become like a tourist model. This town will become, with the heart center or the heart chakra of the planet, that will be able to share information globally, and people like, follow, subscribe, share, download, to go in the running for like a Willy Wonka ticket. Yeah. Not only this town will be able to present its offerings, but every other community can start building out, because we'll do it's a white label opportunity to hand them basically, this is how you build out your local community podcast studio. This is how you bring ownership back to your community. Topics to table, minute with the mayor, whatever that sort of stuff you got to do. And then we all upvote as a community. Boom, this is what we want. Do we want high rises? What do we want? What do we don't want? What needs to sharpen up? So where focus goes, energy flows, and heart and mind in coherence as a collective, we move forward. Yeah. And then Chris, the world moves forward.
That's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing that you're doing, because this is what I'm doing as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, harnessing the power of community. Yes. Right? Where I'm doing it nationally, harnessing the national community to come together with ideas and utilising the brains trust of our people.
Yes.
Okay, across the nation.
Yep.
Right.
Great. Awesome.
You're doing the same thing at a community.
Yeah.
Level,
I'm actually investing in infrastructure, intellectual property. I've 180 Web3 domains.
Kudos to you, mate. Keep going with it.
Yeah, that's all I do.
This is a thing that will resonate with people. Okay, if it involves people to help our communities. Grow. Yeah. Just a short story. I was in Fiji at a business mastery event with Tony Robbins. I don't know if you've heard of that guy. I have.
Yeah. So I've done all of his courses, crewed for him as well when he came to Australia. Went to Fiji, and there was only 50 of us in the room, and he said, I wouldn't normally say this to people, but the monetary system's going to crash, and it'll happen overnight and probably on a Friday afternoon. And I stood up and said, Tony, what are you talking about, mate? I said, we've got Bunnings being built, we've got IGA going in Proserpine. I said, mate, the place looks like it's cranking on where I'm coming from. So, mate, it looks like that, but it's going to crash. And that was 15 years ago. And then I come home, sold one of my properties, and went all in, learned a big lesson from the Massage Me Now app I built, put 350 grand into that project, learned a lot of lessons, timing and teams. And now execution is everything, and I've been working 7 days and nights a week doing massage around town. To rally up enough money to build out that IP. Yep. So now I'm only just starting to film stuff and share stuff with people now.
Excellent.
Yeah. So it's actually really happening.
See, I'm not smart enough to make predictions like that. However, I am smart enough to understand that when people make decisions for themselves, okay, we'll spend our money more wisely. Okay, we will make the effort to ask ourselves, what do we need to put back where we don't need to spend money? For example, I don't see enough community gardens in the places that I've been to.
Farming gardens, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's only a little one around out in Cannonvale.
There are initiatives coming back to smaller communities to build out community farms, community gardens, market gardens. Okay, but not enough. No. We're not incentivising that enough. We do have a lot of resources that we're not tapping into, and we're relying on corporate Australia to provide for us, which we could decentralise that model and bring it back to communities. We can make these things happen through our own hard work and effort. But firstly, we've got to ask ourselves, what is it we need? What is it we can do for ourselves? And where does that money to do that come from?
Well, everyone's flat out trying to keep their head above the water right now, so it's it's not really happening.
Yep.
And so that when AI really kicks in and they bring in that central bank digital currency, people will lose a lot of jobs, and then there will be more time.
Yes.
It's like the farmers ploughing with their horse and cart, and then the machinery comes in. Oh, it's all disruption, but it's going to give us time back again.
Yes.
If they don't nuke us or something like that, then communities will have time to come back. And the 15-minute smarts...
We have a lot of untapped productivity in our country. Okay, the resource
we just keep selling everything.
The resource of people, okay, and their time being underutilised is rampant in our country. Right, we're not utilising enough of that. We are creating.
We're giving away all of our resources. That's for sure.
That's correct. Right, we're not ably utilising tax to the extent which we could.
That's a joke.
Benefit a lot more from.
Yeah. No, we're just giving it away to other countries.
We're also not tapping into the human factor, which is, the most important factor. I've been doing this for 381 days, and giving up without any payment. Right, I'm tapping into my own back pocket to do this journey. Okay, so not only am I not benefiting, but I'm actually putting into this journey. Giving up most precious commodity of my, of my being, which is time.
Time,
And if we asked ourselves, what can we give back without remuneration, our country would be better off for it. Right, we would have a better country in the outcome down the track in the future.
Too many people taking, like in the IS, and everyone's just on the gravy train.
Yep, correct. Where we see governments produce jobs, right, which do not make money for our country, right?
Yep.
That is incorrect, and both sides of politics do that. And this is why there's a shift in political thinking now that we have to be tough. Fairness has gone too far, and we have to rein that back in. And I don't disagree.
It's never been far. It always seems like it was
I don't disagree. Right?
Yeah.
So political will has to come from the people, right? If we want
course.
effective decision making,
they need to feel like there's a place to speak, and they're heard, and they're not wasting their time.
Correct. We feel powerless because it's a waste of time trying to get through to the leaders. We can't get through to them, and we can't hold them to account.
They're not even,
and we can't get rid of them.
They do not give a shit.
Between elections, we cannot get rid of them.
No,
right?
No, it's a circus show. So, look, and the World Economic Forum's just going to get rid of government anyway, and then just say we control all these 170 countries anyway, and that's why they're flooding migrants into Australia and causing havoc and chaos, and the police force all going robotic and cameras going everywhere, and then they'll 50-minute smart cities, so you leave a certain destination of your town and see and prosper upon those massive things on the highway. There's something to be said on that. You can't leave here now. Your money, which is the banking, all the banks around the world are now integrated with a blockchain called XRP, which is going to move money super fast, 3 to 4 seconds. So you say something on social media, example like COVID, I got blocked for 7 days and then a month just for speaking truth, which is pretty obvious. It's an IQ test, that's what I thought it was. But it'll get a stage to your money goes boom, it won't work for you out of your geolocation. And that's what's coming.
Chris,
people don't see
all these things you're talking about is authoritarian control. We saw that in COVID. We must realise that control factor right, is what we need to break. That chain of control over us, right, is what we rebel against, right? Not the fact that we got the vaccine, right, pushed onto us, but the fact that we weren't given the option not to have it.
Yeah.
Control is what, at the basis, control is what we all yearn for, right? The power to make effective decisions which make sense to us. That control factor, right, is what I'm trying to improve in people's minds.
You're doing your bit. You've got me to come and go, what's this guy up to? It's just, I would suggest whatever town you go to, if there is someone of community, to speak to them. Don't stay underground. Like you're doing a grassroots thing, but you need to still meet the people and talk to the people.
Absolutely.
Because timing is everything. Like by 2030, 3 years time, it's done. It's critical. Timing is everything right now.
So my job, is to promote this seed of a new idea, right? And through the journey that I've been along, I've met young people who've come up, had a chat to me, and understand my journey and understand where I'm going with it.
Yep.
I have already implanted the message into these young kids that, hey, what I'm doing is blazing the trail. You can then pick up that torch and run the rest of the trail after I've blazed it, right? And they say, fantastic, right? Because they understand the benefits of what I'm doing, right?
But there needs to be a backbone and infrastructure.
Under old style leadership, you take out that person, right? Who is that idea?
Yes.
Good or bad, that's gone with them. Me, I've got 16-year-olds who run with a torch because it's not about me when I ask the people for the ideas. See what I'm saying? There's a different style in leadership which cannot be stopped because it's from the people for the people. This is what democracy should look like.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I've put like, literally, I've probably a couple $100,000 in the projects of like, literally probably $500,000 in stuff. I work 7 days a week, massaging 7 days and nights a week, 8 till late, like 10, 11 at night. So and it all goes in.
Hard work,
it's intellectual
and
property
can make a difference, right? At the end of the day, right? The more
go nuts is the number plate. Right. Yeah, absolutely. But it's not fighting the old; it's just creating the new, and coming from a place of love and connection and gratitude, and that high resonance that we can actually support one another and have high vibe and have fun and enjoy the process rather than being dense in the system that we know it's not working for us. So we just got to just collaborate, and enjoy the new world that we're going to create.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right.
keep going with your journey.
I will.
And I'll do mine.
Absolutely will. So
we'll work together. I'll see you.
Yeah.
In this town again. If you're still here on my journey.
Yeah, I've been here for 33 years. So.
On my journey on return.
Yep.
Right. I promise to do minimum 60 towns, right, per Senate term that I serve.
Yep.
Right, to revisit here again.
Yeah, awesome.
Early Beach and Cannavale is on my list of the 60 towns.
Yep.
Right, for sure.
Awesome.
That's a promise.
Well, I appreciate that. If we do actually put this up, hope you guys enjoyed as well. Please consider subscribing and Yahoo.
Good on you, Chris. Cheers, mate.
All the best on your travels, mate.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, viewers. Take care.
Cheers, guys.